Good evening, and I welcome you students for another important lecture on chemical bonding. Students, last time I have told you what is a covalent bond. Did we tell you what is a covalent bond? Tell me yes or no. Covalent bond. This is formed by the sharing of electrons, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sharing of electrons, students. That means we have also shown you most of the time if you have almost two non-metals, what they are doing, student, they are forming a covalent bond. But there are two types of covalent bond, students. One is called non-polar, non-polar covalent bond. Non-polar covalent bond. If you have the same atom, students, supposing I have fluorine, how many electrons are there in the outermost shell of the fluorine? Fast 30 seconds, student. Tell me what is fluorine? Fluorine atomic number is 9. So how
Yes,
much
sir.
you have? 7 electrons.
Two,
1,
seven.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Another fluorine comes, students. Then what happens? What will they do, student? There will be sharing of electron, as you can see, sharing of electron, right? So they are sharing the pair of electron. There is a, what we represent, student, we show it like this. There are two electrons and this, right? Is it okay? How many? Then you have 6 electrons. Is it okay? Tell me yes or no. Any doubt? Any doubt here,
Sir.
students?
No, sir.
Now the two atoms are same. These two atoms are same. Yes or no? Tell me. These atoms are
Yes, sir.
same. Therefore, we know, student, this pair of electron is equally shared by the two atoms. Equally shared by the two fluorine atoms. And this bond is non-polar. This is called a non-polar covalent bond. There is no separation of charge. There is no preference for any of the atom to attract the electron more strongly towards itself. Similarly, you can take anyone. If you take chlorine and chlorine, student, you take hydrogen. All these are examples. All these are examples which we are listing, student, of the non-polar covalent bonds because the two atoms are same. Two atoms are same, right? So here we have shown it, two atoms are same. For example, this is fluorine. These two pair of electrons are shared. Electrons symmetrically distributed in a covalent bond. What we are saying that these electrons are symmetrically distributed because what you have, student, basically you see that there is a one nucleus in this fluorine, another here, and there is a this a electron density which is symmetrically distributed in a covalent bond. So what we are saying, the electrons are symmetrically distributed. ठीक है? They are symmetrically distributed around the two nuclei. There are two nuclei, 1 and 2. So there is a symmetric distribution of the electron around the two nuclei. And then there is no separation of charge. There is no separation of charge here. There is no separation of charges. The bond is non-polar. The bond is non-polar. Students, you can take any two. You take nitrogen. What is happening in the nitrogen when you represent nitrogen? These how many electrons are being shared here in the case of the nitrogen? We have shown this is the nitrogen. You know, one, two, three pairs of electrons are being shared. One, two, three pairs of electrons are being shared by the two nitrogens. By the two nitrogens. And the two atoms are same, the two atoms are same, therefore these there are the two nuclei, there is a symmetric distribution of electrons around the two nitrogen atoms in this molecule. This is a non-polar, this is example of the non-polar, student, covalent bond. Non-polar, is it clear? Tell me, are you sure
Yes,
what I
sir.
said is okay? Now let me talk about what is a polar covalent bond. Polar covalent bond. If that covalent bond is formed by two different atoms, if there are two different atoms, students, two different atoms, what will happen? What will happen? Supposing one of the atom is hydrogen, other is fluorine. What is the story? You have a hydrogen. Hydrogen has how many electrons in the outermost one? You have fluorine. How many? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay. When they will form a bond, student, when they will form a bond, what will happen? You have fluorine, student. There is a pair of electron here. Which of the two will attract the electron more strongly towards itself? Now, these are the two electrons. You will find that these electrons are more towards the fluorine. They are more towards the fluorine, students. Why? They are more towards the fluorine as compared to hydrogen. What we now are using, student, that fluorine is more electronegative. Fluorine is more electronegative than hydrogen. What it means? Fluorine is attracting electron more strongly toward itself than the hydrogen. Fluorine has more power to attract the electron towards itself. You know, fluorine is a non-metal on the right hand side. It has got 7 electrons and it needs 1 electron. It pulls this pair of electron is pulled more towards the fluorine. What will be the result of this, student, if such a thing happens? Then what we will see, that this bond becomes polar, student. Fluorine becomes partial negative charge, hydrogen becomes partial positive charge. So student, this indicates a partial positive, partial negative. There is a small positive charge, small negative charge on the fluorine, and this is what we call as, this is a polar molecule. It is a polar molecule, that this is more electronegative than this, student. Then now the electrons are lying more close to fluorine. Therefore, the unsymmetrical distribution of electron distribution, what is happening, student? The electron distribution is not symmetric around the H and F. Electron distribution is unsymmetric, more towards fluorine than towards the hydrogen, and this will result in small charges on the atoms, and there are small charges on the atoms. Is it okay, students? What I am trying to say, see, the story is like this. Here I have shown HF is a polar molecule because fluorine is more electronegative. More electronegative, students. Therefore, it has more attraction for the electron. Electrons are strongly attracted by this. The nucleus of the fluorine attracts electron more strongly towards itself than the hydrogen. And the result of this is, student, we have shown here, electrons lie on average closer to the fluorine, closer to the fluorine. This is the electron density. This is the electron density, student. This is more towards the fluorine than towards the hydrogen. This is our hydrogen plus this is our fluorine. So this electron distribution is more towards the fluorine than towards the hydrogen. Is it right? So electron density is higher on the fluorine, and what we are talking, student, is a polar. We represent it, student. How do we represent it? I represent the students. What I represent, student, this bond is becoming polar. This is having a slight negative charge. This is having a slight positive charge, student. This is what we are talking of, that the bond has become polar. It has separation of charges takes place, and we say that the more electronegative, in general we are saying more electronegative element, more electronegative elements, student, will attract the electrons more towards itself, right or wrong? Tell me, is it okay? That there are two electrons in between. The more electronegative element is attracting the electron more towards itself, students. So negative charge is on one electronegative element, positive charge is on the other, students. The separation of charges takes place. More electronegative, less electronegative. This electron pair is more towards fluorine than towards the hydrogen. You can take many examples of this. If I take, student, you can take a different type of molecule. HCl also, you will find this is negative, this is positive. You have so many examples, student. These are the two atoms are different. There could be polyatomic molecules also. For example, if I take water, student, what happens in the case of water? Also, this is negative, this is positive, this is positive, student. This is more electronegative than hydrogen. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, students. If I take ammonia, student, what is happening? Nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen. So there is a separation of the charges. There is a separation of the charges. These bonds are becoming polar, student. And there is a slight positive and negative charge. These are the important points because in water, strong hydrogen bonding takes place because of this separation of the charges. So whenever you have fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen becomes partial positive and it can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. You are aware of the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, student, which is a consequence of this electronegativity difference. And these atoms are very small and electronegative difference is very large, and this results in the formation of strong intermolecular hydrogen bonding takes place, students, in water. What is the result of that? Water is a liquid, student, but H2S is a gas, student. See the difference? Sulfur is less electronegative than oxygen, so that separation of charge is very less as we compare with the sulfur, and therefore, student, in this case we experience a strong intermolecular hydrogen bonding. And you see, now the electronegativities, what are the meaning of electronegativity, student? What do you mean by electronegativity? Which is more electronegative, which is less electronegative? You know already in the periodic table when we studied the periodic properties, student. When you studied the periodic properties of the elements, students, element, then we have shown you how the electronegativity varies across a period and down the group. Can you tell me what happens if I move across a period to the electronegativity? Electronegativity, student, it is not a physical quantity, it is only a number. But students, it is derived from physical quantities like bond energies, and they have no units, and it's only a comparative study which we do. Comparative, we only give relative values to the electronegativity element, that this element is more electronegative than this. They are not any units or any physical quantity as such, we are trying to tell you. And the person who has developed a scale which we are using is Linus Pauling. Linus Pauling, scientist,
So
student.
what is the base value that we compare it to?
We'll show you, we are showing the table very soon, that what is the table, how do we compare the electronegativity values, we are going to give you. In general, I know non-metals have higher electronegativities than metals. In general, you already know, student, what you know. Non-metals, they have higher, important point, note down. Non-metals have higher negativities than metals. Tell me yes or no. Is it right? Why should it happen like that? Can you tell me the answer for that, student? Where are the non-metals? Non-metals are on the right side. They are having high electron affinity. They are gaining the electron. They are attracting the electron. Halogens, are strongly electronegative. They are in need of electron. Once they gain electron, they become noble gas configuration, student. Oxygen also needs 2 electrons. It is in group 16. So you have seen, students, if I take group 15, 16, 17, what is happening here? Nitrogen, this is my oxygen, this is fluorine. You know they are highly electronegative element, yes or no? Non-metals. Tell me, are they highly electronegative? They have tendency to attract electron toward
Yes,
themselves,
sir.
yes or no? You know
Yes, sir.
N3 minus, O2 minus, you are aware of F minus. So they are pulling the electrons towards themselves. Electron affinities are high, student. They will release large amount of energy. Electron goes towards them. What is the story of metals? Where are the metals? If I say group 1 and group 2, what they are doing? Group 1, group 2 elements, student, they are losing electron. They are electropositive. You know that they lose electron. They are electropositive student, 1 and 2 calcium, for example, you say that they are losing electron student. They are electropositive students. Yes or no? Tell me. Is it okay? Have you noted down? Then I proceed further. Student, keep noting everything. Every word is important. Every line we write is important. All right, student, what important point to note is that Pauling, as I said, developed a electronegativity scale, student, to compare the electronegativities. This is electronegativity is only a number, student, only a number. It is not a physical quantity. It is not a physical quantity, student. There are no units. No units I have written here, only I have given. And what we are talking, student, basically these are the physical quantities and it is only relative or comparative, and only when a compound is formed, when a bond is formed, then only we compare the relative electronegativities of the two elements. And the separation of charges could vary when the two elements will change, students. Important. If I write HF and HCl, here you see the fluorine and chlorine are two different atoms. So the amount of the charge which is separating becomes different, student. This is negative, this is positive. We are saying electrons are more towards fluorine or chlorine. So when we will change the atom, student, what will happen? The story will change. Now, what is the, let us have a look on these, students. The polyelectronegative values. Hydrogen is 2.1, the highest value, maximum. What do you see in this table? Fluorine has got the maximum value. What is the maximum value? Given by Pauling, first point, fluorine, 4.40. This is the highest value. This is the most electronegative element. Which is the most electronegative then? Fluorine. That means, student, maximum charge separation is going to take place here. Fluorine will attract the electron most strongly. And interesting thing after that, so you see oxygen. This is a period, student. This is a period. What do you see? As you move across the period, students, from left to right, what is happening? Tell me. Electronegativity increasing or decreasing? Is the electronegativity increasing or
It
decreasing,
is
students?
increasing.
Huh?
The
What is happening?
electronegativity is increasing.
Increasing. Why it is increasing? We already told you in the periodic table. What is happening, student? As you go, the size is decreasing. Across the period, the atomic size decreases. The outer electron is more towards the nucleus. The attractive force is more. Z effective is more, student. It will attract the electron more strongly toward itself. So the fluorine is most electronegative. And down the group, what is happening? Down the group, students, electronegativity is decreasing. Tell me. Decreases, students. So when I will join any of these two atoms, I will know which will be negative, which will be positive, based on the difference in electronegativity. More electronegativity value means the electron will be pulled more strongly towards itself, right? So what is the important point to note? This is 4. Then 4 minus 0.5, 3.5. 3.5 minus 0.5. If I subtract minus 0.5, I am coming to this. If I subtract minus 0.5, student, I am getting this value, minus 0.5. I am getting, this is just to remember these values, student, minus 0.5. So if I take this lithium as 1, add 0.5, add 0.5 in the second period. This is my second period. Second period, students. The most electronegative elements are where? Where are the most electronegative element? You can see in this period. And on the right side.
Yes,
Second
sir.
period, right hand side, what do you find the most electronegative elements? Is it okay? Can you see it, student? One of the trick to remember. I put 4 value to the fluorine, and then I subtract minus zero point 0.5, then it comes the oxygen. I subtract minus 5, it comes the nitrogen. Minus 0.5, 2.5. This carbon is almost equal to hydrogen, students. See, they are quite close. Carbon and hydrogen are quite close. That is why when I say ki CH4 is has no charge, because the electronegativity difference between them is very, very small, student. Atoms with silver electronegativities will form covalent bonds, and atoms which widely differ in electronegativity will form ionic bond. Important point. We can say that if element is highly electronegative, then it has so much a tendency to pull the electrons that the bond could become ionic, student, and that is what happened. So you don't need to learn the electronegativity, but you should be aware of the trends and recognize highly electronegative element. Which are the most highly electronegative elements, students? Most highly electronegative elements. Can you remember them, students? Nitrogen, oxygen is there. ठीक है. Chlorine, what is the value of chlorine? Is also 3.0. You see, almost nitrogen and chlorine are almost same. Nitrogen is also 3.0. Chlorine is also 3.0. See that one, both of them almost same. Nitrogen, oxygen. This chlorine is quite close to nitrogen, and fluorine has the highest value. These are some of the most electronegative elements. So the electronegativity increases as you move towards the fluorine, student, and
Yes, sir.
decreases as you come down the group. So this will help us. This will help us, student, in identifying the nature of the polar bonds which will be formed, student. The polar bonds will be formed, and it was Linus Pauling who developed this scale. And Linus Pauling related electronegativity difference between two atoms to the ionic character of the bond. So what we mean by ionic character of the bond? Ionic character of the bond means how much ionic character is there, student. Plus minus how much ionic character is there, because in every covalent bond, student, there is a covalent character, and we are saying there is an ionic character. If electronegativity difference is 1.7, he said if electronegativity difference, electronegativity difference, I am saying, between the two atoms is, if there are two atoms A and B, if there are two atoms A and B, student, if electronegativity difference is 1.7, student, then it corresponds to 50% ionic character. It corresponds to 50% ionic character. Important point to note, student, he suggested. And if that difference is more, then we have 50% covalent and 50% ionic. Okay? That is what he said. And higher electronegativity difference corresponded to that was more ionic than covalent. If it is more than 1.7, then the ionic character is more than the covalent character. Okay? And less than 1.7, if it is more than, student, if we are saying it is more than, the electronegativity difference is more than 1.7, then more ionic character is there. And if it is less than 1.7, then there is a more covalent character in the bond. No bond is 100% covalent or 100% ionic. No bond is 100% covalent, 100% ionic. There is always some ionic or covalent character which is present in a bond, student. So you can easily see the scale which we have given. This was given by Pauling, student. Arrange the following atoms in order of electronegativity. Tell me which has the smallest electronegativity here in these. We have given you the scale, student. Which is the least electronegative in all these? Tell me. What is the electronegativity value, student, which we have given you? What is the electronegativity of Cl? How much is that Cl in the electronegativity scale? Fluorine is 4. How do I remember? Fluorine is 4.0. And if I come to oxygen, then what will happen? Then it becomes 0.5 less. 4.0 minus 0.5. How much it is? 3.5. How much I gave for hydrogen, students? 2.1. This is only a number. It is only a number, student. And what is the BR story? So you are going from chlorine to bromine. It will be less than student chlorine. Chlorine is 3. And if I subtract, this is bromine is chlorine. We have not yet written the value of chlorine. You have seen it is 3.0 and this is 2.8. And sodium, what is sodium? Is a metal, student. Metals always have very low values. It is a metal. These are non-metals. Metal have very low values of the electron negativity. What is the value of sodium? You have seen in the table 0.9. So from the Pauling electronegativity scale, student, Pauling electronegativity. Can I write? What I can write? Lowest first. Which is the lowest? Sodium. After that, hydrogen. After that, 2.8, 2.1. Then sodium is 0.9, hydrogen is 2.1. Then sodium is how much? Sodium cannot be 2. No, Br is 2.8. Sodium is 0.9. After 0.9, student, which is the next value? 2.1, hydrogen. And after 2.1, 2.8 is Br. And then 3 is chlorine. And then oxygen. Is that the order? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Questions could be put to you, student, in the paper like that. We have to know, and some trick I told you how to remember these values. That trick was shown here. See, zero point 0.4 less 0.5 minus 0.5 minus like this. Here 4 and it comes 3. 3.5 you subtract 1. 2.5 almost 1 almost 1. Then here 0.5 difference. Then here 3 to 2.8.2 difference. 0.2, 0.3 difference. This difference become less as you go down the group, as you can see. Hydrogen and carbon almost same, 2.1 and 2.5. Carbon is more electronegative than hydrogen. If you have to compare, this value is 2.5 is more than this. And these metals will have no interest in electron. They want to give electrons. They want to give electron. So they have very, very low values of electronegativity. Students, very, very low values of the electronegativities. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
The next important point is octet rule. Student, what is octet rule? That what we said, student, what was found and what was given, student, what do we mean by a octet rule? As we have given, try to show you the Lewis structures. Lewis structures. In the Lewis structures, we represented electron dots as the valence shell electrons. And we said that the reason concept of covalent bonds is that there is a tendency to have full valence shell, total of 8 electrons. 8 electrons. The atoms are combining, what we are saying, these atoms are combining, student. Okay? Or they are forming covalent bonds to complete, student, octet. What do you mean by octet, student? They want to have a full valence shell. They want to have full valence shell with 8 electrons. Except what? Hydrogen can only have only 2. If I consider hydrogen, student, hydrogen is only 1s. So 1s can have maximum of 2 electron only. Maximum 2. For hydrogen, 1s2, then it is completely filled. First shell, only 2 electrons are possible. Only one orbital is there. Under this orbit, only one orbital is there, 1s. So in most covalent molecules and polyatomic ions, each atom has an octet in the outermost shell. What we are saying, student, what we are saying. In most covalent in most covalent molecules or polyatomic ions. For example, NH4 plus is a polyatomic ion. These are ions. Each atom has an octet. Each atom has an octet in the outer shell. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
In the outermost shell. So what will happen? What will happen? For example, if we have already given you, if but student, if I take ammonium ion, okay, let me take ammonium ion. What is the meaning of this, student? Nitrogen, what is the atomic number of nitrogen? 7. It has 5 electrons in the outermost. There are 4 hydrogens here. Each hydrogen has got 1 into 4. How many? 4 electrons. Total 9 electrons. But plus means what? What do you mean by plus? It has plus means minus 1. 8 electrons total in the case of ammonium. How will we show it, student, then? The nitrogen needs how many electrons? Tell me. Nitrogen is having 5 in the outermost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And there are 4 hydrogens coming. Each hydrogen has got only 1 electron. Yes or no? If I
Yes,
change,
sir.
if I show it by a cross so that you will see what is happening. This is 1 electron in the hydrogen now. How many are coming? 4. So what will happen, student? You have n, this 1 and 1, this 1 hydrogen. Then you have this and this hydrogen, student. These are the 3 hydrogens, and there is a 1 lone pair of electron on this. Can you see that? But now 4th hydrogen is coming. What will happen? This 1 electron is lost, student. 1 electron is lost. Nitrogen plus 1 means what? Plus 1 means what? 1 electron is lost. And 1 is coming from here.
Yes, sir.
So what is happening? There is a positive charge on the nitrogen. You can see positive charge on the nitrogen because nitrogen has lost 1 electron. Yeah, minus 1, 4. Can you see that? Cross is for the hydrogen and this. This is the, now every atom has a octet. Nitrogen has got 8 electrons. How many? 8 electrons in the outer shell. Outer shell. How many electrons in the nitrogen now? 2, 4, 6 and 8. Hydrogen needs only 2 electrons in the outer to complete the valence shell, complete the outer shell. It is only 1s. So what will happen in the case of CO3 2 minus? If I have CO3 2 minus, student, carbon is 2, 4. ठीक है? Carbon is, maximum carbon can have how much? Carbon, the important point to note is, student, the elements of the second period. Elements of second period, student, means n equal to 2 will have only 2s and 2p orbitals. So what is the maximum electrons they can put, student? They can, maximum they can have is 1, 2 in 2s, and you have this type of orbital, student. 2s and 2p, that's all. N equal to 2. 2s and 2p. There is no 2d orbital doesn't exist. So how much you can have, student? How many? Here 8 electrons. Maximum you can have is 8 electrons. Maximum 8, student. 8 will be completely filled. You can see this 8 completely filled, student. Can you see that? Can you see? How much? 2, 4, 6, 8. That's all. There cannot be more than that in second period.
Okay.
So here you have carbon. This is if you have carbon, carbon is only 2s and 2p. Now if you are having carbon has four, one, two, three, four carbon. And if you are combining with the three oxygen, what will happen? Oxygen, what is oxygen? 2, 6. 2, 6 student, you can see. Oxygen can take two electrons. Carbon can only take one electron. Carbon. Now, what can happen? Carbon, oxygen. What is the result of such a ion student? We will show you very soon the Lewis structures for this, how we make it. So you can have student in this case there are two electrons have been gained, as 2 minus means there are two more electrons. So carbon 4 and you have three oxygens. Three oxygen means 6 into 3 18 and 2 minus two more electrons. Total 24 electrons are there. And they have to be distributed in these how many? Four atoms. This carbon is less electronegative the center at the center student. And we will show you the structures of these. We are going to draw the Lewis structures of these compound students in this case. So they want to get 8 electrons in the outermost shell. That's what we are trying to tell you. So if you have students something like this two electron, 2 to 4 and 2 6 electrons are gone student. What is left with 18? And if I put 6 into 3 18, 6 into 3 18 students, what do you see now? What do you see now? 6 into 3 is 18. 18 are gone student. But carbon has got only, how many now carbon has got? You can see carbon has got only 6. So it needs student 2, 4, 6. It needs two more electrons. So they can share like this student. So what do you get student? What do you get? Either of the three can be used to share. So you will get a double bond student. And this, there are 4 now here, 6 here. And when carbon is single bond student, this is a negative charge, there is a negative charge. 2 electrons were gained as you see. So this is the structure of CO3 2 minus, but I can draw two more structures of CO3 2 minus. So this central atom has got how many electrons student? 8. But if I take student, if I consider BF3, can you draw the structure of BF3 student? You have 1 minute to answer the question. Draw the structure of BF3 student. BF3. Boron, what is the atomic number of boron? What is the atomic number of boron student? Boron is 5. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. It has only 3 electrons in the outermost. Only 3. How many? 3. So how much? Boron 2s and 2p. How much? If I excite this electron student 2s and 2p, this is our boron. This is my boron. If this electron is excited student, then it is a boron. It can form 3 bonds.
Yes, sir.
Then what will happen? If I write 1, 2, 3, this is F, F, F. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can complete the structure student for the fluorine. How many fluorine? These are 6 and 2, 8. 6 and 2, 8. 6 and 2, 8. But boron has only now 6 electrons. Boron has got 6 electrons student. So what we find, it has only 6 electron because it has 3 electrons in the, and therefore cannot share maximum. It can only share maximum of 3 electrons. Similarly, if you will write BeCl2 student, you will find what you will find in BeCl2. Beryllium has only total of 4 electrons in BeCl2. This is boron. Beryllium, what is beryllium? 4 atomic number. So if I will write for beryllium, student, देख रहे हो, in this beryllium has got how many? 4 electrons only. So these species, they don't have an octet. They do not have an octet, student. They does not have octet. And such species are called electron deficient species. They are, student, electron deficient. Electron deficient. Can you see it? They are short of 2 electrons. This is short of 2 pairs of electrons. They can accept pairs of electron from others because they don't have any electron. It has only 3. It has only 2. Beryllium has only 2 electrons in the outermost shell. So how will we do it? Okay? Is it
Yes,
okay?
sir.
Can you see
Yes,
all
sir.
this? So here octet rule is not obeyed in this case, beryllium and boron. These are examples of covalent bonding, students. What I am talking is covalent bonding. What I have shown you, students, see the BF3, student, it is forming B. These are all examples of covalent bonding, and boron has only 6 electrons, okay, in outer shell. So it can accept a pair of electrons. They are called Lewis acids. They are called Lewis acid. They are electron deficient, student. Okay? How many? 2, 4, and 6. And then there are examples. If I consider SF6, sulfur, what is the sulfur group? Sulfur is which group, student? Sulfur is 2, 8, 6. Sulfur is which period? Third period. So now you have 3s, 3p, and 3d also is available, student, in this case. It is vacant. It is vacant but can be used. It is vacant but can be used, student. So what can happen? Sulfur has 6 and there are 6 fluorine which are combining with this. What will happen then? 6 fluorine. How will you draw them? As you have seen, students, 6 fluorine are coming.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And 6.
and 6. You can balance the rest of the electrons. 8. Okay? 8. Okay?
Yes, sir.
हो गया? Now how many electrons are there with the sulfur? Tell me. Sulfur has got how many electrons in this case? This sulfur has got how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 electrons. So it is more than 8 electrons. More than 8 electrons. So here also octet rule is not obeyed. Can you see it? Can you see? Because sulfur was in the third period, it has vacant 3d orbital, student. In such cases, you can see what is happening, student. Then student, in such cases, what is happening? Can you see it? The octet rule is not obeyed. Octet rule is not obeyed, student, in this case. Is it okay?
Yes,
Not
sir.
obeyed. Electron deficient. This has more than 8 electrons. Such elements, student, which has got vacant 3d orbital, they belong to which period? 3, n equal to 3. This is n equal to 3, student. They are coming in the third period. So they can increase their octet. They can expand their valency. Student, they can expand their octet. Expanded octet, what we call as a expanded octet. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So another important point is, student, there is something called a coordinate covalent bond or a dative covalent. What is a coordinate covalent bond, student? A coordinate covalent bond, it is a type of covalent bond in which both the electrons come from the same atom. Up to now, in covalent bond, I told you the covalent bond was formed, student, by sharing of the electron. By sharing, okay? Sharing means each atom is sharing one electron. That is what was happening. What was happening? If I take CH4, student, what is happening? What do you mean by this?
Hmm.
This, there is a sharing one electron from here, one from hydrogen, one from carbon, one from hydrogen, and you are forming something like this. But supposing there is an atom which doesn't have electron, then what will happen? For example, if I take student H plus, how many electrons are there in H plus? Tell me. How many electrons are there in H plus? Tell me, students. What is hydrogen? 1s1. Okay? One electron. But if I have H plus, what it means? 1 minus 1, 0 electrons. How many electrons are there? 0. Now it cannot share because there is no electron. What is the 1s? This is 1s H plus. Is it right? 0 electron. He doesn't have any electron. But if someone can give both the electrons, then what can happen? If there is a molecule, student, if there is a molecule which can give both the electrons, or there is an atom which can give both the electron, what can happen then? It is in need of 2 electrons. It needs how many electrons? 2 electrons. For example, if I have NH3, student, I just told you NH3. What is NH3, student? It looks like this. Okay? And there is a lone pair of electron on the nitrogen. Is there lone pair of electron on the nitrogen? Yes or no? Tell me fast. What
Yes,
is
sir.
nitrogen? Is atomic number 5?
5, sir.
Nitrogen 5 or 7? Atomic number 7. Huh? So, what is that? 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Okay? How many electrons are there? 2s, 2p. This is our nitrogen. When ammonia forms 3 bonds, there is this lone pair of electron is there. No, this is a lone pair of electron. Lone pair. Okay? So what it can do? This can donate its lone pair of electron to the vacant orbital of 1s. This is 1s of hydrogen. So this can give its 2 electrons to this. Both the electrons are coming from where? One atom, nitrogen. In this case, both the electrons, okay, come from nitrogen. Right? Such a bond is called coordinate covalent bond. This is called a coordinate covalent bond. Okay? So we are representing, this is the formation of a coordinate covalent bond. When NH3 combines with H, student, what is the result of this? What will be formed? You will form N. Now this, both the electrons are given by the nitrogen, student. Both these electrons are given by the nitrogen. Which one? This, supposing these are the 2 electrons given by the nitrogen. This already black. Let me make it. These 2 blue ones are given by the nitrogen. Both the electrons are coming from nitrogen. From nitrogen. Okay?
Yes, sir.
These ones. Blue. And this type of bond is called coordinate covalent bond or a dative covalent bond. Or a date. And this will have a positive charge. Nitrogen will get positive because it has donated both the electrons to the NH. So whenever there will be four bonds that will be formed, if I represent it like this, student, four bonds are formed by the nitrogen, means there will be a positive charge on the nitrogen because it has given its two electrons to the hydrogen here. It was vacant. Similarly, water can also do that. What is water? This is my water. There are two lone pairs of electron and it H plus has nothing. So it can give student lone pair of electron to the hydrogen. This will be a coordinate covalent bond. What will be formed is coordinate covalent bond, student. ठीक है? And you have student plus charge on this. This is the formation of H3O plus. What I am forming? H3O plus, student. You have seen hydronium ion. You can see this coordinate covalent bond formation. Can you see it, students? Got it? When both the electrons come from one atom, ठीक है? Both the electrons are coming from the same atom, then such a bond is called coordinate covalent bond. For example, NH3, and you have just seen BF3 is electron deficient. This is electron deficient. This is electron deficient. It needs two electrons, so it can give its two pair of electrons to the boron, student. So this is called a Lewis base, student, and this is called a Lewis acid. And what they form, student? This type of adduct, these are called adducts, student, addition products. And this is a coordinate covalent bond which is formed, student, as we have shown here also, between nitrogen and boron. Can you see the coordinate covalent bond, students? Yes or no? Tell me. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, student, coordinate covalent bonds are being formed, student. Very important point. Very, very important point, student. That how will we form coordinate covalent bond, student? So you should be familiar with all these, students. Okay. Questions are going to be asked on this because Lewis electron dot structures are very important, student. They will ask you questions on this, very, very important question. Say Lewis electron dot structures, if you have to make, supposing they ask you to make the Lewis electron dot structure for carbon monoxide. CO, student, you have 1 minute to draw the structure of carbon monoxide. How will you draw it, student? You can use dots and crosses to represent. The dots are like this, crosses are like this to show the structure, students. Electrons can be represented. Mostly in the books you will find dots are being used to students.
So a line represents a single electron or
Line
a
represents two
pair?
electrons. When I will write like
Two
this,
electrons.
there will be two electrons.
Okay.
Carbon, what is carbon? Carbon atomic number is 6. How many electrons are there? Number of electrons. Carbon has how many electrons? Tell me. Valence electrons. 4 to 4. 4 electrons are there in the outermost shell of the carbon. And you have oxygen. Carbon has got, student, 4. What is the oxygen? Oxygen. What is carbon? 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. This is the valence, outermost outer shell. 2 plus 2, 4. Oxygen, atomic number is 8. 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. How many? 6. Total electron 10 in carbon monoxide. Then how will we distribute so that each get 8 electrons? Okay, you are saying first you draw one line. One line is how many electrons? 2 electrons. If I take 2, how much is left? 8 electrons. Now 8 electrons, what I will do then? What I will do to the 8 electron student? If you put 2, 4 and 6 on the oxygen, how many are left? 2 electrons. Then I put 2 here. Now what is the problem? Oxygen has got 2, 4, 6, 8, but carbon has got only 4. In such cases, what you do? What do we do, student? In such cases, these lone pair of electrons can be shared, student. What we do? We have to share these electrons. How to get 8 electrons? So oxygen has full, carbon has only how much? Carbon has 2 and 2, 4. What I will do then? I will put another this pair of electron to be shared. Then it becomes 2, 4 and 6. Still not there. Then I bring another pair of electron. What is the story here now? What it means? 1, 2, 3, 4. And oxygen has got how many? Carbon has got how many? Now in this case, student, what you find? What do you find here? Carbon has got 6 plus 2, 8. And this ox oxygen has got 2 plus 6, 8. Is it? Tell me. In this structure, what we are trying to show? This is how much? 1 bond, 2 bond, 3 bond. 3 lines. Oxygen, 2 electrons and 2 electrons. So this could be a Lewis electron dot structure for CO. Yes or no? Tell me. 8
Yes, sir.
electrons with the carbon and 8 with the oxygen. It is a triple bond. What type of covalent bond? Triple bond. Yes or no? Tell me. Right? We may show it as it is shown in your book, student. But this line means 2 electrons. This line means 2 electrons. ठीक है? This is a way to represent this or this. Is it okay, student?
Yes, sir.
I have to show for H2O. But I will have oxygen, oxygen. Oxygen has got 6 electrons and hydrogen 1. Each hydrogen needs only 1. Each hydrogen needs only 1, student. Then how many? 6. No problem. Oxygen has got 8. Hydrogen has got 2. 2. So we may represent like this, student. Right? We can represent like this for the H2O. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, students, what we will be doing, some practice is required to draw these Lewis electron dot structure. This is our octet theory, and this is what we have shown. In some cases, octet rule is not obeyed for the period 2 elements which have not which do not complete octet, like BeCl2 or BCl3. We have shown BF3 molecules. And then in the third period, student, what happens is sulfur and some other elements, what you will find, student, sulfur, phosphorus, they will expand their octet, student, and we can represent the Lewis electron dot structures by a scheme which we are trying to show you. All right, then students, we end up this topic here. Then we will meet you in the next lecture. Meanwhile, you continue to do practice on Lewis electron dot structures. And we have already told you what do you mean by a polar covalent bond, student. And polar covalent bond means there is a separation of charges. We have defined the electronegativity scale also. And one more important point which I would like to tell you before I end up this, that whenever you have a polar covalent bond, student, what is happening? There is a separation of the charges in the polar covalent bond, student. Polar covalent bond, what I told you, student, that if I have H or Cl, for example, this is more electronegative, this is less electronegative, so there is a separation of charges. So we define a quantity which is called dipole moment, student, which is represented by mu. Dipole moment is a defined, student, for the polar covalent bond, student. We can define a quantity which is called the dipole moment, mu, which is called the charge Q student, Q is the charge on either of the atoms into distance of separation. Into distance of separation, student R. So if you have these two students, what is the distance of separation of the two? The if I distance is measured from the two nuclei, student, distance of separation and the charge which is there, equal and opposite charges are there on both of them, and the units which are used for this is called d. D means debye. Debye is the unit of the dipole moment which is represented by as d, and student d, and 1d is equal to 3.3, just a number, student, very very small, 3.33. This value you can see, check up in the book, student, 564 into 10 minus 30 coulomb per meter. Coulomb meter. This is the unit, SI unit of this is coulomb, and SI unit of R distance is meter, coulomb meter, student. So we represent this type of arrow to show the electronegativities of these elements. If I have HOO, student, then we represent, this is the, means the arrow means that this is more electronegative than hydrogen. This is more electronegative than hydrogen, student. There will be a net dipole moment. It is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity, student. So we can find the net dipole moment. And it can be zero also. Equal and opposite dipoles can cancel also. Equal and opposite dipoles can cancel also. We will find out the value. For example, in the case of the water, it is 1.85 d debye. That is the value of the dipole moment of the water. It is a very good dipole moment. Water has a strong, is a strong polar molecule. Water is a polar molecule, has a high dielectric constant, and the dipole moment of water is quite high. So ionic compounds readily dissolve in water. Okay, then I hope you have noted down everything. Then I will meet you in my next lecture, students. Bye bye. And then we see you in the next class. Good night. Okay, good night, students. I hope you have
Good
noted down
night.
everything. Have you noted down everything, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay.